Dear collectors, we want to share an important shipment update with you. First and foremost, we understand how frustrating it can be to experience delays and uncertainty, and we want to extend our gratitude for your patience during this time. XM has recently encountered various challenges with our factories, such as closures and quality assurance issues. Our priority has been to resolve these issues before committing further product shipment updates to you. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused by the delay in updates. We are pleased to inform you that our factories are now operational again, and we're preparing to resume shipping more statues in the upcoming months. Below is the current list. Venom Arise, May 2024. Supposedly it's going to happen. We're going to start shipping this month. Wolverine also is going to start shipping this month. Superman Classic Quarter Scale, they think they're seeing this updates in June. And then Optimus Prime Bus and Megatron Bus in June 2024. Absolute Carnage, July 2024. Now, of course, this is, to me, good news. But for some people, it's not good enough. Like, I feel like a lot of screen collectors that they were posting out that, oh, this is too late, a little too late for that. You know, what's going on? The thing is this, not only them are going through these delays, everybody else going through delays. Almost everybody at this point. It's rare to find a company that actually is sticking to the schedule. For the most part, everybody delays. And it's getting to a place where I know for some collectors, they feel that it's ridiculous, but it's not unheard of. It's like, delays can happen. There are products that are coming up to 2 years or more, or even at 4 years. We're coming to that place. At the same time, the quality of these products is way above anything that we have seen before. And there's always this expectation that we have now, the things to be almost flawless for the prices that we're paying, the collectors are paying, so they expect things to be flawless. So there is a lot of quality control. There's a lot of detail that goes into producing these magnificent pieces of art that companies, they definitely have to take their time with the factories in order to produce that quality, because, you promise something, you want to offer that what you promise. And there's been delay after delay. And of course, there's a lot of situations that are happening right now. The effects of the war in the Middle East with, Israel and the Palestinian people, Iran involvement is affecting the shipment routes in Europe. So all of the situations that throws everything a monkey wrench to all the situations that are happening, it makes things so difficult. And keep in mind that the oil that comes to produce a lot of these resins that we use come from the Middle East. So the more costly it is, the more difficulty for the resins, for anything that is oil-based to get to China for production is creating a problem. The same happened with the Ukraine war and Russia. All of those things, you may not think that affect that because you think China is here and the Ukraine is here, but we live in a very globalized economy where everything has an effect. Of course, China's also going through transitions. They have some disasters over there, flooding that has caused some situations, some of the factories to close. There's so many uncertainty in the world sometimes that it's hard to really pinpoint what is causing this problem. But all of this combined, and of course the cost of production of so many things makes companies they take longer than they used to produce some of those things and to really deliver the products they promise. It doesn't mean that they are going out of business. It doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing. It doesn't mean that, the company is going to just crash down and burn and all that. It's just the reality we're living. All companies, Sideshow, Hot Toys has been in business for a long time. Hot Toys has more delays than anybody else that I know of right now. People are constantly crying out, always complaining, oh, I already pre-ordered this and I'm still waiting and I got to notice that it got delayed. At least one thing I could say about that is that at least you're getting the notes. If you order this through Sideshow, of course, Sideshow has always been professional about it. You're going to get the notice. At least you're getting notices. Some companies are not doing that. And I would say that some of these companies here are not doing it. Sometimes they're not doing a good job in that part. XM has been very quiet. I'm not going to deny it. And some people feel like, you know what, I just cancel my stuff because it's taking too long. Some collectors, they just go by the FOMO. Fear of missing out, just the heat of the moment, they pre-order things and they change their mind. Nothing wrong with that. It's your money, you can do whatever. I've been through that situation before too myself. I order something, I lose sight of it, or I just don't care much anymore. So things like that. And, I let it go. Some people do the same way. But that doesn't mean that XM is late to the game. Doesn't mean that this is a sign of the end of XM Studios. Doesn't mean that XM Studios is gonna shut their doors and the customers don't care about XM Studios. I think the company, it's still a powerhouse. I still believe that it went through a transition moment. It went into a process, which is normal with a lot of these companies. With this changing, of course, they got into this. The owners are still the same, but it was more that they became part of a conglomerate of companies or businesses over there, which means more funding. I think that XM is in that situation of transition where it's trying to find itself, or define itself as a company. What is the direction they want to follow? And one thing that they have very, very persistently have done, and they're constant with it, is that they want to go and stay with it within a niche. Are they going to expand? Are they going to continue that vision? Who knows? So companies go through a process where they realize what is profitable and what is not. And for them, you know, it helped a lot when there was a lot of things smaller in this hobby. But this hobby has changed and continues to change, where it's becoming bigger and bigger. There's more collectors than ever before. So I'm not sure if XM Studios is going in that route. I don't think they exactly know where they're going at the moment. But at least one thing we could say, that they are coming with those releases. They are updating, which is great. They're telling us exactly where these pieces are going to come. There's other pieces there still. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. People need to be patient. You know, that's the name of this game. If you are a collector in this hobby, I'm telling you right now, patience is your best friend. If you are not patient enough in this hobby, you're not going to survive this hobby. Find something else. Find something cheaper. Find action figures, for example, like the cheap figures, because those companies, they have their own factories. It's Hasbro, you know, Mattel, things like that. They can produce, and they get through delays too, but they are producing because they're mass producing stuff. So go for that thing if you feel that you don't have patience for this, because in this market, always in the collectible market, particularly with statues, it's always been delay after delay after delay. When we're talking about high-end collectibles, when we're talking about products that cost more than the average action figure, you're talking about a product that is mostly handcrafted. Artisans are involved in the production and the painting and the assembling. It takes time. You just have to learn to wait. That's the way it is. And I feel that XM, you know, we don't know exactly what they're doing, and also people lose hope. And there's always been people that are always detractors of XM Studio for a reason or another, whether they don't like him because they were originally sideshow collectors, and XM kind of came and throw everything out of proportion. Things changed when XM was here. I don't think XM was the one who created the problem. I think it was just in the situation that was happening at that time when XM came. Prime One Studio, XM Studio, they came at the same time. These two companies, they came up with a different idea, different vision, and people embraced them, and some collectors felt left behind, you know, and that's just the way it is. Particularly with the prices, that was the moment where the situation in the hobby was changing. Pricing was changing, and it hasn't been the same ever since. You know, prices have changed. At the beginning, many years ago, I used to get upset when the delays were there. Believe me, I used to be upset. I was like, why we have to wait this long? I pay for this money. I'm getting to the place in my life where I don't care much anymore. I pay for something and I forget that I pre-ordered it. And it's kind of nice in some way, because sometimes you come home and all of a sudden you get your notice, oh, your product that you pre-ordered like 2-3 years ago, it's now on its way to you. And I'm like, oh, cool, now it's Christmas today. You know, it's just the way it is. And I feel better that way than trying to worry so much about it. If, oh, you know, it's not gonna fit, you know, I had plans for it, I already have this, or I already made changes to my display, and I'm waiting for this, and I already have this. I see sometimes many collectors that are like, oh, I already made a space for it and I'm waiting for it. And I'm like, dude, don't even bother, because it may take another 2 years and you're gonna have an empty spot for 2 years. So don't worry about it. Matter of fact, you don't even think about it. It's better to worry about it when the time comes, when it's come to you. It's kind of like the same idea. It's better to ask permission than, you know, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. So it's the same here, and in the sense that, you know, I order things, I don't have space for them. I will worry when they come here, when the box is by my doorsteps, and then I say, okay, now I need to figure out how I'm gonna fit it on my display. But other than that, I'm not envisioning anything. I'm not thinking how I'm gonna fit it in. I'm living for the moment, because I don't have a guarantee of tomorrow. I pay for it because I liked it. Whether it comes or not within the timeline that they promise, that's not up to me. It's not even up to the company that is producing it. There's so many things happening that are affecting the way things are being sent out or shipped out or produced, and that, you know, it is what it is, you know, like it's a gamble. At the end of the day, it's a gamble. And we talk about the same thing. We're talking about Oniri Creations. It was a gamble. I know a lot of people lost money in the process, but you're gambling in many ways when you're buying these products. Are they going to be produced or not? You never know. They hope that they are, but don't act or don't think that it's certain that you will get the product at the time that it was promised, or that you will even get the product or even the money back. It's just the way it has always been. You know, you're talking about an industry that is based on products that are artisanal made. They're artisans making these products. So hey, it is what it is. We have to keep that in mind.